No, it's not that hard. Bigger. I have to tune that down for that, but I think the that's probably one of my favorite CLC riffs. Just the how did I join? 2000 and let me check. 2011. 2011, my brother invited me, and then, well, my brother and my dad they were going, and then they invited me for one service, and in my household, like going to church is default. So I was going to a different church at the time, and I didn't really want to like. I thought if I have to go to church, I might as well just like find one that's that I can really enjoy, I guess. So I was in a very traditional church, and as a kid, it doesn't exactly interest you. So then I went there, and then I didn't get saved immediately, but the first thing that I saw was PF and Francois playing guitar. Then I'm like, this is so freaking cool. And then I was like, okay, so the services were shorter than my traditional church, so I'm like, well, okay, if I'm gonna have to go to church, I might as well go to one that's shorter and that's more fun, I guess. So it was more practical reason for me to join the church. And then a couple months later, I think it was like maybe 5 months later, then I actually got saved. And then I went to Monday nights with Lafuno. I was there for maybe 2 years. The first year was really just like, I think like 6 months or something. And then I went to the Monday night training. He had these training sessions where we'd learn songs that are on the list, and then we'll play them together as a band. And the first song we learned was Gave It All by Parachute Band. And I remember Jeffrey taught me that song. Thank you, Melifi. Yeah, and then Jeffrey taught me that song on BF's Ibanez SZ guitar. I remember the riff as well. It was like something like that. It was a really, really cool riff. And then, like, I kept going to Monday nights, but then my mathematics marks were not the greatest, and then I had to go to extra classes, which was coincidentally on Monday nights. So then I skipped Monday nights for I think the next year. And then the year after that, when my maths marks improved, then I could come back to Monday nights. And then I started playing in the youth band, and like a lot of the outreaches at various schools and everything. Played acoustic for some of it, and I didn't really know how to play acoustic. I started on electric, so a lot of the strumming stuff I couldn't do properly. So I had to learn that, and then pretty much every single opportunity that was offered, I would go for it. I'd be like, this is so freaking awesome. I'm being trusted to play in this band, however big or small, and it was just such a privilege. Still is a privilege every single week. It's a massive privilege. It's a massive honor. It is it's a massive joy. Like so I think I started in the youth band, and then eventually and Jeff, the same guy that brought me to Monday nights, I said I must come to Thursday nights. And I'm like, okay, Thursday nights. Now I'm very scared because there's so many of these musicians. Everyone is like miles better than me with much more expensive guitars, and I'm like, oh my word, I'm so intimidated with all this equipment and everything. I'm like, what the flip, this is really rough. And and I remember there was a bunch of guys there that first Thursday. There was Philip, Alistair, BF, Francois, Sean, and Lafuna obviously there when Lafuna was in bloom, and Dirk was also there. Yeah, I remember there was a bunch of people, and it was like everyone knew what they had to do. Everyone knew their place and everything, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And then I went for a couple months there, and then I was able to play an AM1 service with Jeff, and that was really, really cool. So that's how I joined. But that was like, I think 12 years ago. Yeah, I think like 12 years ago. I think 2025, 2013. Yeah, it was like 12 or 13 years ago. The hardest CLC music song. I think they're not particularly difficult. It's just more, I think some of the solos might get a bit tricky for some people. But like as far as technicality, it's not really difficult, so to say. But that's the point of it. It's supposed to be accessible. Like it doesn't help you have a solo, a riff or something like that. Like then no one's going to be able to play, no one's going to be able to worship, no one's going to be able to praise. Like there has to be that balance between technique, creativity, and obviously the function of what we're doing. It doesn't make sense just to have the most virtuosic playing and no one worships. So what's the point then? And yeah, so I think the hardest CLC song will probably be maybe Set Ablaze. If I think maybe Set Ablaze. How does it go again? I really can't remember this now. Something like that. Maybe one of the newer ones, like I think maybe Rise. The solo for Rise, I think, well, the new one is a bit more difficult. But the riff, I think, for it has a bit of tricky rhythms with the syncopation and the string changes. So I think a lot of people have trouble with that one. Just I think that one might be quite difficult just for the string changes. But yeah, I don't think it should be nearly as challenging as other stuff, but like that's the point. It's not supposed to be challenging. So whenever we write them, we sort of do make it a bit simpler. Like I think the first version of the Rise solo was very, very simple, and mainly for that reason, so that it's accessible. So yeah, Rise. It's a bit difficult now because my guitar is not tuned in drop D, so I have to use the seventh string. Traditionally it'll be like Well, that was the old solo. The new one's a bit more complicated. It's like just a bit more pentatonic stuff. Stuff like that. What's up, Reshan? How are you doing? To the deep. What do I hear? Well, it depends. Like you can set your own mix. For me, I mainly have click, just so that I can play on time. Mainly because when it's very very loud, click track, when it's very loud and the congregation's singing very loudly, the thing is there's a bit of a delay in the sound. Also the drums, they sort of hit the back wall and reflect a bit back. So then sometimes if you don't have a click track, you'll play either with your ear with the drums that is close to you, or with the reflection, which is a bit delayed. So my click track is very very loud. It's like my click track and my guitar are like right here, and then I don't have really much else. Everything else is sort of a lot softer in the mix. Like I take the drums totally out, just because I can hear them through my in-ear monitors, and I have the click to give me time. Bass I have a little bit soft. Keyboards I have a bit higher. Vocals, no, I barely have vocals in it. Just they can, vocals actually, vocals not really. Acoustic not really. Keys 2 not really. EG1 or EG2 depending on what I'm playing, probably a little bit. And then pads not really. Tracks a little bit, but majority is just click and myself, because I know the songs, I know how to play it and everything. So track with the click and cues, and myself will be the main stuff in my mix. Obviously, if you're directing, you'll want a solid overall mix of everything, because you need to tell people like, listen, this person's not playing that part, or the worst thing is someone in the wrong key. Or like it can be a little bit of a problem. So you wanna you sort of set your mix according to your role in the in the band at that moment. So yeah, it really depends. I do have one guitar with a trem. I have a Duesenberg. That one's in its case at the moment. The double harmonic major. So I believe that's also the Byzantine scale, the Byzantine scale. It's a bit. I can't really remember how to play that. Actually, look it up. Goodness. Okay, so. Damn. That's a really cool sound. I'm gonna have to explore this a little bit more. Yeah, the Byzantine scale. Huh. Really cool. Can I use a Les Paul guitar? Like, which one? The blue one or the green one? The shape is a Les Paul, but I don't have a actual Les Paul itself. I just have two guitars with a single cut. But do you want to see the blue one or the green one? Yeah, like I can show some of them, whichever's here. Not all of them are here, but let me quickly have a look. So I can show you one, two, I think three more. Let me quickly have a look. This one's really pretty. This is a Ibanez Halberd. Very, very pretty guitar. I picked this one up in the beginning of the year. Yeah, it's very rare. Like you can't really get this anywhere. It's discontinued. It had a production line of I think maybe 1 or 2 years. And then I finally picked this up at the beginning of this year. It was, I think, from like 2012 or 2013. And then I'm like, sick. It is so beautiful. Plays beautifully. And I use it for very low tunings. Like this thing's, I think, currently in C standard. So I'll use this one for that. And then there's this one. This is my second guitar that I ever got. Yeah, the tone knob really does get in the way. It's freaking irritating. Ugh. I would remove the tone knob on so many of my guitars, but yeah. Same with this one, like this. Volume knob does get a little bit in the way. What I would do is I would probably swap this volume knob with this, and then close this one. Like I don't need a tone knob, I really never use it. I think it's a remnant of maybe the 50s or 60s where you didn't have amps and automation or pedals and anything, so you had to sort of, the guitar was the only mechanism for changing tone, so you had to have a tone knob. But now, nah. So this is a Ibanez RGA, which I scalloped the fretboard of just for that Ingve style playing. So really, really cool. Very, very nice. This thing is fantastic. And then there's also this one. This one I'm actually selling just because, yeah, like I have a different guitar that pretty much does everything this one can. Well, I was gifted a guitar that is 4 times this one's price. And yeah, it just does everything this guitar can do, but even more. Like it's yeah, it's pretty much its purpose is fulfilled. So I'm gonna be selling this one, and then yeah, now I'm gonna use this to fund some other stuff. But I mean, this thing is beautiful. Like it's one of the prettiest guitars that I have. Like this. Oh my word! No, it's gorgeous. Like the flame maple finish, obviously the bird inlays and everything. No, this is gorgeous. Oh, man. And then there's this one, which is ridiculously overpowered. So this is a Duesenberg style player TV, and it's the Mike Campbell signature. This thing was gifted to me, and it is probably the most meticulously crafted instrument. So yeah, no, this one's fantastic. I'll play most of the recording stuff with this just because it's so pristine. But the what do you call it? The Cort that I got now a few months ago is just, it's so much fun to play. Like it's just so much, it's more enjoyable to play than this one, just because of certain features of it. So then, yeah, it's a semi-hollow. Very, very nice. And the Hungarian Minor. I'll have a look at that just now. Make a video on tunings, please. But I get a baritone. Yeah, like tunings, I mean, there's only so many various ways of tuning. Like if you're gonna get a baritone, you'll probably put your guitar into like I don't even know, C standard or something. You just pretty much take the internal configuration of all the strings, being this one and this one are a perfect fourth apart. This one and this one is a perfect fourth apart. That one, and that one is a major third apart. and then those two, perfect for the part. You can choose whichever this one is going to be. If you use that standard configuration, you can play in whatever tuning you want, but you just need to make sure you get the right strings for it as well, because the lower you go, the higher gauge strings you're going to need to buy, just to maintain the tension on the neck. Like if you're going to tune very low with like 9 gauge strings, it's just not going to work. So you sort of have to understand that as well. Yeah, Chuck Berry did Run Rudolph. Broken Vessels, I cannot remember that. Unfortunately, I cannot remember that at all. Like, there's so many songs in the repertoire, I just don't know that one. Yeah, no, that one's a bit difficult. Yeah. What's up, Some Earth? Oh, yeah, the overtones, right? This is one thing that I haven't done in weeks, and that's tune a guitar, because my Cort has the Evertune bridge, so I don't have to tune. And now this is very disgusting for me, that I have to now tune again. Like, what the hell? Ugh. The Les Paul, not this one, but the green one. That one's gonna be 10,000 rand. So in dollar terms, that's probably like $600, I think. I think it's about $600, but yeah. And those things, well, generally in our country, they all go for like maybe $800 or $900, depending on the type that you want to buy. But I think brand new they might be like $900. So yeah, it's quite a pricey thing. Very cool. Do some really cool stuff with this. Just Pulas is stronger than the rand. I'm not sure what the exchange rate is. I think it's maybe 2 to 1 or something. So whatever the equivalent is in Pulas, that'll probably be exactly the same. As long as I get the rand value that I'm looking for, whatever the Pula or the dollar or whatever value is, like that, that's perfectly fine. But I know Botswana's currency is a bit stronger than ours. Like, Botswana is just doing everything right. Really, I think Botswana is probably one of the most underrated African countries. Like, it's so freaking underrated, in my opinion. The landscape's beautiful. The animals just incredible. People are very much like the ones here in the Free State province where I'm from. We're Free State in Northwest. It'll be like, your Tswanas and some Sesotho. But yeah, Sesotho is more, so you'll maybe have some Pedi and Tswana. But yeah, like the people are very, very nice. Like, my word. Let me check this. So, my cover for Black Magic Suite, Opus number 3 by Yngwie Malmsteen. Oh man, let me check that out quickly. Anything from Yngwie is just terrifying. Like, I wanted to learn that. I think it's not fantasy. It's that that. That one, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but that thing I heard when I was a kid, and I'm like, first I didn't know what it was, or who played it. I saw a cover of it, I'm like, what the hell? And then I think only last year I discovered that's an Ingve song, and then I'm like, okay, I need to learn this. Jack Black, Magic Suite, up 3. Let me have a look. Oh wow, 12 minutes long. Goodness. Phew. This might be a rough one. Crashing in. Crashing in. Crashing in. Let me check this. Yeah, but just remember, Ingve is monstrous. Like, he's not exactly an accessible musician. He's just so freaking good. I mean, he's the, I guess, the godfather of neoclassical shred. He's just, he is Bach reincarnated. What part of the song do you maybe want to learn? Because I am in the process of learning like a bunch of riffs. But is there a specific part of the song that you maybe wanna have a look at? Ooh, I don't know that one. I know a bunch of other Joy Celebration songs, but that one I don't know, unfortunately. Yeah, this recording isn't the greatest, but what's up, brother? How are you doing? tune it? I plug it in to whatever I'm playing, and if whatever I'm playing has a tuner, I'll tune it. So it'll just be E, A, D, G, B, and E. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the process. Sometimes if I don't have a tuner, I'll look up a video for standard tuning or something, and then I'll just get like one note, like the E. Like I'll just get the E, and then I'll be like, alright, so now I'm going to use that as my measurement, and I'm going to tune all the other strings according to that string's pitch. So if you know how the guitar is sort of set up, you know that if you take, let's assume this E string is in tune, if I press on the 5th fret of the string, it's going to give me the pitch that the A string is supposed to sound like. So I'm going to go. So if you have decided, okay, that's close enough, cool, then you can assume your A string is also in tune. And now you do the same thing. So now your A string, you'll fret on the 5th fret, which will be what the D string should be tuned to, the pitch. So then you'll play those two together. So the D string sounds a little bit flat to me, so I'm going to tune it up a bit. Cool. Then now we can assume that the D string is in tune. So then got my D string, and then you're going to go to the 5th fret again. And then that pitch is supposed to be what the G string is tuned to. So I'll sort of play them next to each other, and then I'll be like, alright, that sounds fine. Okay, now I can assume my G string's in tune. And then here's the catch. Instead of going to the 5th fret, you're going to go to the 4th fret. So not the 5th one, but the 4th one. Because this string is a B string. So then you're going to play those two together. Sounds a bit flat. Cool. Then I'm going to see my B strings in tune. And now for the B string, you're going to go to the 5th fret again. And that's going to be your E string. In tune. So all of them, to measure the one above or below, depending on your perspective, you go to the 5th fret. For all of them, except when you want to measure the B string, then you have to go to the 4th fret of the G string. Got your first guitar, Squier Sonic Stratocaster. Yes, absolutely. Now that's really a good starting guitar. Like. Let me quickly have a look at it, just so I can see. I know normal Squier Stratocasters, but a Squier Sonic I don't really know that well. Squier Sonic. Think about a, yeah, no, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is like the best guitar you could have bought to start on. Like, my word. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is absolutely the best guitar you could have bought. It'll be between this guitar that you just bought and an Ibanez Geo. Would have been, I guess, the two best options for a starting guitar. Thing is, you don't want something that has too complicated hardware. Like if you have a Floyd Rose tremolo bridge, that's gonna make you very scared. So no, that's a fantastic guitar to start on. That guitar has 3 pickup positions, which is also very good for you. It has the standard sort of body shape of a guitar. That's the most copied shape of a guitar, with the 2 cuts, and the neck will feel very normal. Yeah. So this is like, I think a Stratocaster is like the Toyota of guitars. It's just like, it's just well made. It's really a solid guitar. It's really reliable and everything. So, yeah. Doesn't matter. Just play when you find your groove. Yeah. Eventually, when when you find things that are better for you, you'll get those. But like, yeah, it's like certain things of a Stratocaster annoy me. I'll rather not make you aware of them right now, since you just started out. But yeah, certain things of a Stratocaster just irritate me just physically. So I do get other types of guitars, but I mean, a Stratocaster is the most famous guitar for a reason. Like, people just love it. So you can definitely be proud of that. And yeah, 3 months free lessons. Sweet, man. Yeah, you must also check online. There's so many resources online. Like there's an infinite amount of resources. But just make sure. Yeah, it's difficult. It's really difficult. Like, thing is with lessons, there's so many teachers, and each teacher has a bunch of different backgrounds and a bunch of different perspectives. And one thing that's a bit problematic with teachers is specifically with guitar, there isn't really a standard established universal technique. There are people who claim to have a universal technique that everyone should be doing. Like, if you learn drums, there's like 8 different ways that you can hold the stick, and there's specific strokes that you can do and everything like that. But with guitar, it's very much a bit more nuanced, especially because we have the pick. Yeah, definitely don't get discouraged too quickly. It is a little bit of a learning curve. Like, the biggest difficulty right now is just as soon as you pick up the guitar, is like pressing one note properly. Like, it's gonna sound like this. Like, it's gonna feel like that in the beginning. And there's so many things you can do to improve on that. But yeah. But stick around. Like, I practice every single day, so you can definitely any questions you have, I'll be able to answer. Doing great things in you, Rambo. Let me check. Well, can I go from CLC Pretoria to CLC Gaborone? The reason I can't go from CLC Pretoria to Gaborone is because I'm not in Pretoria. I'm in Bloemfontein. So no, like I live here, I work here, family's here and everything. So yeah. Donna at DMT. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I have not played that, but I have heard some positive things about it. I'm generally more Ibanez, PRS, Cort, Schecter when it comes to metal guitars. They are just, I guess, the most comfortable for me. You can play with a Gibson Les Paul and Epiphone Les Paul, doesn't matter. Like, the most important thing, and listen very, very carefully now, when it comes to buying a guitar. Buying a guitar is best done if you are deaf. That is the best thing. If you are deaf and you are blind, that is what's going to make the best guitar for you. Because when you are deaf, you're not going to think about the tone. The tone is infinitely easier to get than people will make it out to be. There's little variances and stuff. But if you're going to think about the tone, you're not really going to hear the difference in a guitar store and all that stuff. And secondly, your eyes. If you are blind, you're going to buy the best guitar for you, because you're going to see something that looks pretty. It's got nice wood, it's got nice shape and everything. And then, because of that bias, you're going to pick up the guitar and lie to yourself, saying that it's the most comfortable out of the 3 or 4 that you're testing. And that's the biggest problem. Like, I've fallen into that trap. I bought a pretty guitar that didn't necessarily feel well. Guess where that thing is now? Sold. So like it's kind of counterintuitive because you're playing a musical instrument, but I'm telling you to be deaf. But yeah, if you are deaf and blind, you'll buy the best guitar for yourself. That is pretty much the whole crux of it. If it feels nice, it's gonna play nice, it's gonna sound nice, you can make the tone sound amazing. That's really not difficult, especially with today's technology. Like, oh my word, you have to wait for a new guitar well to come out every month. Learn a simple 4x4. Yeah, 4 bar. Yeah, the resources is crazy, eh? Like right now, there's just so many books. I remember also buying like a little booklet with some riffs and everything, and they were just terrible. But like, oh my goodness, yeah, just Guitar Pro was a game changer for me because now you have access to community created tablature, and you can play it back to you so you know what it's supposed to sound like. You can edit it so you can sort of write your own stuff. Guitar Pro 5 I think was the biggest game changer for me when it came to learning songs, especially because in those days internet was really expensive. Like we didn't have uncapped internet, so I couldn't stream YouTube videos with tutorials. So having Guitar Pro 5 was fantastic because now I don't need to be connected to the internet. And Telcom back in the days was terrible. Like, oh my word. And yeah, so now it's so much easier to learn songs, just infinitely easier. Now remember, this isn't the acoustic guitar. This is also an electric. My acoustic is right over there, but you're not going to be able to hear it because I can't plug it in. I haven't got the 9-volt battery for it just yet. Yeah, the neck and the frets, that's exactly right. Neck and the frets, all the tangible things, like the neck itself. Precisely. The frets. The bridge, for me, is a big thing. The bridge, how the bridge feels on my hand, is a massive thing. And then also the position of the controls, like is there a pickup selector? Where is it on the body? Tone knob, volume knob. Okay, but where is it on the body? Is it going to obstruct my hands in a certain way? Is it going to be comfortable to play? Like these are the main things that is going to influence whether or not you're going to pick up this guitar to practice with it or not. Like these tangible things are the main indicators of whether or not you're going to pick up the guitar. Like some guitars will sound, let's say, 5% better than the other one, but play 20% worse. Guess which one you're going to pick up? Obviously the one that sounds 5% better, because we are tone idiots. But I mean, actually what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the one that just feels better. Like I do that all the time. It's a thing. You bought Fenders, bought an American vintage, sold it. Yeah, like Fender is incredible for the majority of people. I am unfortunately not a majority of the people. I pretty much I have very, very specific things that I like. For instance, I don't like the controls being in the way. I don't like the Fender neck. The Fender neck is just irritating for me. I don't know why, but it just is. A gloss neck is also really frustrating. I don't know why there isn't a natural wood finish on a Fender. Like there are, but not all. Then also, probably the biggest gripe for me, at the back, there's like this chunk of steel plate that's just over here that is in the way no matter what it is. If it's a Stratocaster, a Telecaster, it just freaking irritates me because it's always there and it's like over here or somewhere crazy. Oh, yeah, rosewood is fantastic. Oh, man, let's reply. What do you think is the best way to learn from zero today? Online, offline courses. The best thing to do right now, if you haven't had any lessons at all, would be to just get yourself a teacher to guide you through the basics. Because right now, with the internet, you have access to the collective knowledge of humanity when it comes to this instrument. where on earth do you begin? Okay, let's say you choose, okay, let's start on chords. Okay, but now there's going to be 7,000 different people teaching you chords. Which chord should you learn? And then they're going to teach you a million different ways to play them, and then they're going to get into theory. They're going to throw that stuff in because they're going to assume you know certain things. It's going to be extremely overwhelming. It's going to be very, very just overwhelming. So I think the best thing to do, get yourself just a teacher for a couple months just to learn some of the real basic stuff, like tuning your guitar, playing 4 open chords, and maybe learning some exercises. Actually, forget exercises, learn riffs. Just learn riffs. So listen to a bunch of rock songs, like 80s classic rock stuff. Learn those riffs. Once you've learned those riffs and you can't play them, then definitely, then you can start analyzing why you can't play them. Like right now, first thing you'll probably learn. Like if you learn Highway to Hell or something. If you can't play that, you're going to be like, okay, but why? And then you can start looking for lessons specific to that. It's much better to do that than to do it the other way around, where you get a bunch of lessons and you try to apply those lessons to things you're trying to learn. Rather do it the other way around. When you're trying to learn something and you can't play it for whatever reason, then begin your investigation, then begin your education, then start thinking about why. Is it maybe the type of pick I'm using? Is my hand not strumming correctly? Is my left hand fretting weirdly? Am I doing something like this with my elbow? Am I doing something just crazy like this that's going to cause things wrong? Am I twisting my arm a bit too much like this? Then you can start asking those questions. Right now, you aren't going to care about this being the major scale. It's like fantastic, but like you're not going to be interested in learning the answers to questions you haven't even thought about yourself. So until you encounter resistance in something you want to learn, you're not going to care about any of the solutions anyone's offering you. So learn riffs. Exactly what LaRue is saying right now. Shut yourself off from the noise, learn riffs, and then get some of the details sorted. So go move from Bloemfontein to Gaborone. Yeah, man, my family's here. Huskies, man, huskies. No, my family's here. I'm very much planted here, and but I would love to visit Gaborone. Like it's very, very, very nice. Gaborone and I think Windhoek or Swakopmund, Namibia is also just gorgeous. But yeah, I think I'll definitely be in the plains of Botswana as well as some of the bushveld. But I'll probably go hunting if I'm there. I'll have to get some good kudu if I go there. Oh man. Can I use G minor pentatonic scales in chord progression with G, E minor, C, D? So let's first figure this out. So G, E minor, C, D. So that tells me the key that you're in is in G major. So now you want to use the G minor pentatonic. I would rather, in that progression, use the E minor pentatonic. So instead of going, go like that, or even start here, that sort of thing. What's up, Rocket Ship Face, man? No, there's not a new guitar, but I don't play it that much on stream. But it's a fantastic guitar. But yeah, it has a 9.5 radius, so it's not comfortable to play metal. Melbstein 9.5. Okay, yeah, like you'll find what works for you, but it's such a subjective thing. Everyone's hands are different. So, oh man, yeah. But Rocket Ship Face, I hope you're doing well. I hope you came right, and yeah, B flat is the adjacent on G minor. B flat. Oh, okay, sorry, I know what you mean, yeah. That's the flat third, yeah. This is not a Bigsby bridge. Sorry, rage me, I'll answer your question just now. This is a Duesenberg bridge. So it's a Duesenberg guitar with a Duesenberg bridge. I do not like Bigsby bridges at all. I just never had one that I liked. This is the perfect tremolo bridge. I will fight anyone on this. This is the absolute perfect tremolo bridge. I don't think you'll ever get anything better than this. I will die on this hill. The Duesenberg bridge is the most incredible tremolo bridge. However, it is damn expensive. I didn't buy this guitar. This guitar was gifted to me by my local pastor. I will never be able to, or well, no, I won't never. It's just like I don't think I will put down the money for this myself. So I was very, very lucky and blessed to have received this one. So sorry, let me just quickly check that. So kind of random, but for gaining more speed, what would you routinize? Playing speed phrases randomly in speed that's really unsettling for yourself, but you sacrifice efficiently, or slowly going up. First approach. So you're gonna have to push yourself. Let me give you the exact lesson on how to build speed. Take a bar. Right now, I'm looking at this bar in front of me. So it's gonna be like. Okay, so that's my bar that I have now, or 2 bars. That's too much for me to practice efficiently. It's too long of a string to practice. So I'm gonna take, let's say, just those 4 notes. So first, you're going to be practicing this whole thing in 3 time zones. All right. First time zone is free time. You're not going to be thinking about the speed or whatever. You're going to be thinking about the actual technique you're using. Now this note, I'm going to be thinking, okay, am I going to downstroke first, or am I going to start with an upstroke? So that's my downstroke, and then my second note is here. It's going to be upstroke, and then downstroke, and then upstroke. Okay, so I'm going to do strict alternate picking for this. So in your first speed zone, you're going to be figuring out how you're going to be playing this. What strokes are you going to be using? What escape motions you're going to be using? What pick slanting you're going to be using? Which fingers are you going to be using to press certain notes? Okay, so I'm going to choose pinky, index, open string, and then middle finger. So then what you're going to do is you're going to you're going to enter the second speed zone, which is generally between 25% and 50% of the actual speed of the riff itself. So let me put my metronome here. Let me put it, what's the actual speed? Let me put it here. Sorry. You're going to do something like that. Okay, so once you've figured out the rhythm between the notes that you're playing. Right now it's simple because it's just that each of the notes have the same subdivision, which is 8th notes. So it's just, so there's no like rhythmic break like. So in the second speed zone, you're focusing on the rhythm. You're trying to make sure that the notes in relation to each other are using the correct spacing. So you know if this note you're going to be holding for a certain amount of time, you know the next one you're going to be holding for twice as long as that note. So you're learning the internal relationship, the rhythmic relationship between the notes in the riff itself. Then the third speed zone is divided into 2. So you're going to try to execute the thing as literally as fast as you can. Without a metronome or anything, you're going to go. You're going to try to do it literally as fast as you can. So this is bursts. The reason you do that is because you are only focusing on a very small chunk of what you're playing in its entirety. You're not playing a long string of notes. Like if I had to do this super burst speed for, it's gonna be like it's gonna fall apart, and I can't at this point diagnose what am I playing wrong. What's the problem? If you have this group of 4 notes, I can analyze much easier in real time and make corrective action straight after I play. So I'm like, so what happened there? So I went, so there I rang out all 3 notes. This could also happen. What's that? I hit one of the strings. So then in this speed zone, you sort of analyze what are the limitations of your current technique. Then you might need to go back to step 1 and reevaluate. Maybe instead of using a strict alternate picking, I can go so pull off. That whole thing. So then you sort of reevaluate your decisions that you made, and I'll do this for every single bar or every single grouping or something. So you're going to be wanting to do these bursts. You're gonna really want to do that, because at high speeds you're going to be using different technique. It's just a fact. Think about it: walking versus running. When you're walking, it's easy to change direction. It's really easy to stop and turn around. It's really easy to go sideways. It's really easy to do everything because you have rest in between each step. When you're running, it is very difficult to stop suddenly because you have momentum. You have gravity. You're engaging different muscles. You are encountering different levels of resistance in various ways. You're engaging a lot more muscles. So although you think you are making progress towards a certain thing, like I can walk to the other side of the field or I can run, but I can't practice running by walking, if that makes sense. You have to push yourself into that speed zone, and the only way to do that and to diagnose and take corrective action is if you put it into very, very small groups, like these 4-5 notes. I will generally play between 3 minimum and 8 maximum, but mostly my chunks are like 4 or 5 notes. But I won't do anything longer than 8 because it's almost impossible to diagnose where in those 8 notes my problem is. So you sort of want to have it in a manageable chunk, and then you make your corrections in that moment. So your guitar teacher suggested, very, very good. Practicing traditional, increasing tempo slowly, but you add speed bursts randomly. But if you add only speed, you will end up with less gain. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, the reason you practice it in these different zones is because that's gonna impact your accuracy, your technique, your tone, and just your endurance. So you don't want to just practice something. You don't want to only be able to play something fast. You want to be able to play it slowly as well, because then you understand the internal rhythmic relationship between the notes that you're playing. So very, very good. I remember I have a logbook of practice where I practiced. Played this arpeggio over and over and over, increased the metronome by 1 BPM every single day, and you get to this weird dead zone where you can't really get faster because you're trying to sprint using walking techniques. and it's just not going to work. So you have to eventually push yourself into that thing. So I can go maybe. Like that sort of thing. So that's what you eventually want to get to. One question: do you feel the feel of not progressing from a specific tempo? For me, it's 16 notes, 120 BPM. Just can't go past that bass line. Trying to speed burst now. Okay, so it depends. 120 BPM. That'll be like this technically. Thank you. Is it just alternate picking, let's say tremolo picking, like, or you actually playing notes? Because that, when you add string changes into something, then it becomes even more complicated, because then you have to go. So are you playing specific notes, or are you just... Or you just alternate picking? Because between 120 and 160 is like sort of a dead zone. It's really, really difficult. Going through the fret like a heavy metal solo, exactly that. Okay, so like so how I would practice that, let me quickly just get a bit more of a powerful tone. Drop my delay and my reverb. Take off your going through every string. Okay, so string changes is the most difficult part. So one thing you'll have to evaluate with yourself is your right hand technique. The left hand pretty much knows what it's doing. The right hand is the most restricted when it comes to guitar technique, because it has to execute everything, and then you get into the realm of certain advanced techniques, which will be like your pick slanting, your escape motions and everything. What I would recommend to do is do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, these 6 notes. So down, up, down, up, down, up. So let's take that. 2, 3, 4. So I'll just practice that. So that's just your minor pentatonic, that sort of thing. And the reason we're only doing it on 3 strings, we're not going to do the whole thing, because again, it's going to be super difficult to diagnose where our problem is if we make our entire thing super, super long. So what I'm doing is now is down, up, down, up, down, up. Also with your right hand, don't do this. Like you don't want to lock your wrist on a specific spot and then pivot it like this when you go to the next string. You want to, for your string changes, generally you want to be using your shoulder like this. You don't want to be using your wrist to grab everything. That's going to be a very inefficient motion, and the thing is, the angle of your pick is also going to change. So if I'm going like, you're going to hit specifically a wall, because every single string you're using is using a different angle of your picking hand. So right now I'm going to take this up to 180. One, two, three, four. Yeah, sloppy. So I'll also have to practice that. But the whole idea is that you're breaking it up into bits. When your mistake is practicing for long at once, like a whopping 40 seconds. No, just you can break it down quite a bit. Like right now, what I did, I think this morning when I was practicing was I was busy practicing this. Between each repetition, I'll have a rest. Like I won't have like let's say a bar rest between each repetition of whatever you're playing. Like, oh yeah, the gallops there. Herta, 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 herta. Bleed. Yeah, so break up your notes into bits. Like right now I'm going. Like it's a very, very long line, but I'm just gonna go. Guitar spin. Yeah, I'm a bit too scared for that. Yeah, have a good day, man. I think, yeah, it's morning for you probably. Have a good one, man. God bless. Cheers. Gonna hear 6 solo with some pinch harmonics. I'll quickly play the hardest solo I know, but I just need to get my other guitar for that. I'll be right back. Oh, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Okay, how to do pizzicato on guitar. So pizzicato is more of a classical sort of thing. The alternative would be maybe what do you call it? Palm muting, like. Because pizzicato is, yeah, it's more on stringed instruments like violins and cellos and everything. So you're going to be going. So you're going to be pressing this part of your hand against the string, just here. Just there, and then you can sort of do pizzicato. So. Yeah, this guitar is freaking metal as hell. Let me quickly. I can someone play this song from the start because I've been practicing this, and then some parts are going to be very, very messy. But let's go for it. Yeah, that's the beat. Yeah, it's very Norwegian or Finnish, very Scandinavian. Oh, the solo's coming up now. Oh my word. Solo. Holy crap, this is probably the worst I've ever played it. Oh my word. Yeah, no, that was very, very sloppy. Yeah. Oh man, this is probably the coolest solo I know. But yeah, no, it's called Winter Madness by Winter Sun. But yeah, no, that's like the ultimate metal song for me. It's just so damn fast. It's just some of the parts is just I think this. Just that part. No. I'm quite far from Norway. I'm from South Africa. A little bit far. Quite opposite. It is very Viking. Like the song itself is from Finland, so it's like Norway, Sweden, Finland. So yeah, very Viking, but super cool. Yeah, man. I'm gonna call it over here. Okay, Rambo. Yeah, I'll quickly play Ekasinati because I'm gonna go for supper now. But let me quickly play Ekasinati. Let me go for it. Let me just quickly get the right sound for it. Okay, but Rambo, then you need to know. Kesine Jan Lee, Kesine Jan D. Oh yeah, yeah, South Africa. So. Rambo. All the rest between the song, like that, a lot of it is just improvised. Just it follows a lot of the vocal melody of Rishi Kapoor. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. You can learn these songs quite simply, just because the melody is so defined and everything. So yeah. Right, but thank you for joining. I need to go for supper now. I'll see you guys. Thank you for joining, and have a lovely day. Yeah, Nepal. I think you're the first one from Nepal that has joined. A lot of my viewers are from India, but yeah, Nepal is a new one. So yeah, welcome, man, and hope you can join us. Awesome. Cheers, man.